parents of 4 young children. 3 years is the oldest, down to 6 months old. I've been kind of running away from a dream that I had earlier on in life about doing some professional counseling, and I've recently decided to go back to school and pursue a master's degree. It kind of has made me be more aware of how I'm spending my time right now. I mean, it's not bad to have downtime, obviously, but too much downtime can be detrimental. So I think it's been good to be aware of the fact that I'll need to use my time more wisely when going back to school. The person taking the biggest brunt of this dream will be her, picking up the slack. Otherwise, because I'll be doing, schoolwork and studying and that kind of stuff, so she's going to be taking on even more of a role at home.
We're a team, and he helps me more than so many people I talk to, their husbands. I basically told him, you need to go back, you should go back, this is good, you've wanted to do this is a dream that you've had for so long. I don't want you to put it off because I don't want you to have regrets, and besides, I think he'd be great at it, and at the same time, I'm nervous because I'm going to have to do everything by myself. Not everything, but so much, and I'm not used to that. And so, I think it's just going to be hard to figure out the schedule, make it all work.
The number one fear I have going into the back to school is papers, just in regards to the schoolwork, but then also just being able to stay on top of everything. I haven't been to school in 10 years, so what's that going to be like? How are things changing there? Specifically, my dad, when I first told him about it, he brought to the surface everything all my insecurities, I think, about going back. The time, the money. Like, you're a father, how are you gonna do this stuff with your kids? Why would you do this? But then when I explained everything and he had time to do it, he understood what I was doing and then, backed me up. But yeah, I would say at first it was kind of discouraging.
There's no way I wouldn't change a darn thing, because I feel like I wouldn't be the person I am. You just never know, like, if you would have made a decision that on the outside looks like it would be a better one 10 years ago, I might not be sitting here. I might not have my kids. You just never know how life changes, and so I wouldn't change anything.
I would say if I did have one thing to do over again, it's just that when I first felt that calling into counseling, that I would have jumped on it then, before I had the little rugrats at home. I'm definitely not excited about the fact that it will, could potentially take time away from them. Basically, every job I've had since college, I haven't really cared about. So, I haven't probably been as good of an employee that I could be. I can have a bad attitude about what I need to do at work. And so, through that process, I've kind of had the realization that, in the meantime, as I'm working towards my dream, to make a more focused effort and be intentional about being a better employee and coworker, and then in turn, just being the best at home, being the best father and husband that I can be too. And you're always going to be able to find excuses. There's always going to be obstacles, and if it's really a dream, do whatever it takes to follow it, and take all those bumps and obstacles in the road to just take them as learning experiences, and you'll come out on the other end as a better person.
Don't get discouraged by what other people may say or think. I feel like if it's in your heart, if it's written in your heart, then you really just need to do that, because if you don't, then what are you going to look back on? How are you going to feel about your life that you've lived? It's so important that you look back and you're content with what you're doing and how you've done it. There's always going to be hard things. There's always going to be things you did wrong, failures along the way. But just, keep going and keep doing what you feel you're called to.